good to talk to you again. And I'm also glad the baseball playoffs are now over because now I get to see new episodes of Frank TV.
All right. Nothing beats the promos when you see a curveball low and away. You can tell that pitch was a curveball by the rotation of the Frank TV logo on that baseball.
That's right. You've got some new cast members this season, right?
Yeah, we added two guys. Freddie Lockhart, who does like the Obama. He does it great. Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman. Mike McCrae, who does a bunch of impressions from Harrison Ford, Mel Gibson, and just a ton of others as well. And there's a lot more chemistry on the show this year, which is great. My brother turned to me about the third episode. Was like, why is this so much better than it was last year? And I was very proud of it last year. But we do. It just became a bigger show. They gave us more money, bigger budget for the show. Looks a lot bigger. We got guys like John Farley, Mo Collins, Ari Spears, people helping out on the show. It just looks like a much bigger show. And we like the three cast members and tons of guest stars. Just a lot of fun and a lot more variety as well.
How many episodes this season?
600. 600 episodes.
Yes, no. Excellent. That'll be good because then PBS, instead of airing a bunch of promos, can just air the episodes all day long.
Yeah, how about that? 10. We have 10 new episodes. That's pretty much a cable pickup, which is great. And we were originally going to do 8, and they really like what they're seeing, so we ended up with 10 total. And I got nothing else to that. 10 episodes, or episode.
See, what he did there was he couldn't think of what to say, so he went to the George Bush. And I bailed you out again.
Oh.
Want a cigarette?
Yeah, I'm out. But you can have some of this Charlie Daniels.
I mean, Jack Daniels?
Like I care. How was it out there, big fella?
I gave him the usual BS today. How I want to unite the country and blah, 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 all that crap.
You said it. You know, I have so many personas right now that I can't keep track. I'm a feminist. I'm a populist. I'm vulnerable. I'm tough. I feel like Tracy Ullman.
Yeah, I feel like I'm wearing a straitjacket out there.
That's your own fault, man. You painted yourself into a corner with that goody two-shoes stuff. You should have come out like Simon Cowell, you know, been the guy that people love to hate. Instead, you came out like Paula Abdul. That was dumb.
Frank, you know, when I talked to you in August, you were doing your John McCain impression. I was loving that. Any new impressions other than that we may be seeing on Frank TV?
Stuff people have seen very little of. The James Gandolfini, which we do in the premiere, which is Puppy Time. It's really fun. You know, it's a really good show. It's very good. There's a lot. Rush Limbaugh, things people have not seen me do. I can never remember half the stuff I've done, but lots of little different things. We create some original characters on the show as well, which is pretty cool. And if I had my own press kit, I could probably remember more of what I did.
Well, Frank, you know, I love obscure, humor stuff that maybe like 10% of the audience will love. So one of the impressions that you do I love is your Jim Rome.
Phenomenal. I knew that's what you were getting to because I'm the greatest thing Caliendo does. How great is that? Right now, you're getting it. 9 other people are getting it, and the rest of the people have no idea what's going on.
Rack 'em.
Phenomenal. Incredible. Rack me. Out.
And then Mike McCrae also does a great Gregory Peck.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I don't think he worked.
I know it's going to be hard, but I'd love to see that on the show maybe next season.
Yeah, we didn't work it in, but he's a brilliant guy, a very brilliant guy with some amazing. We almost did. We were doing these bad sketches on purpose. One of them was Shaquille the Mockingbird. It was going to be Gregory Peck and Shaquille O'Neal. It never got produced because it was so bad, but because even when you're trying to make a bad sketch on purpose, but it is a brilliant impression.
On the complete opposite of brilliance, you gotta stop picking the Lions, Frank. You gotta stop it.
Yeah, someday I'll grow up and understand what.
You know, this is it. They're going to be 0-16 this season. So you just whoever they're playing, you know, whatever opponent they're playing, pick them.
Did you see the Matt Millen comment?
I loved it on Sunday. Him double dipping into the dip.
That guy's double dipping in a cheese dip. He ruins everything he touches.
Just as a football fan, on your end, as an outsider of Michigan, just what's your interpretation of the Lions this season?
Well, it's just I don't know. I mean, you can never tell what's going to happen in the NFL. I thought they were going to be pretty good this year, so obviously I know nothing again. You think you think you don't know Brett Favre's going to go out there and play like he has for the Jets, even though they lost yesterday. I mean, it's amazing. You just don't know what's going to happen in that league, and you just got to start hoping they win. And people going, I can't believe they're winning, instead of they're just losing again. It's cyclical. It'll take a while, but they'll get back. No, they won't. I'm kidding you. You have no hope.
No. Last time we talked, I thought of something I wanted to ask you, and that is, what came first? Were you doing impressions, and then someone said you should go to stand-up comedy, or were you doing just regular stand-up comedy, and then the impressions developed, and that's how you got your following?
Yeah, I was doing impressions first. I'd been doing impressions for years and stuff like that. I didn't really want to be a comedian. I just kind of fell into it. But I went to school for broadcast journalism. But I wouldn't say I did impressions my whole life. I was mimicking people my entire life. So I just had this thing where I could see people and do it. So whatever they do, I pick up on things that people don't always notice, and then can for some reason shoot them back like they're looking in a mirror. So I just figured out, hey, I could use this to my advantage, and this entertainment thing, this acting thing, seems to be a great way to do that. So I went for it that way. I do little bits in my act of regular types of stand-up, but to me, it's all about acting things out, and if I can do the impression, it's much better. People like to see that and see it acted out.
Mm-hmm. Frank, got to go here soon, but I do have one more question. Is it fair to say that Rod Roddy was your biggest fan of somebody you've done impressions of, or are there actually other people, like possibly Mr. Rome?
Rome always says no comment on that guy. Rod Roddy was a huge fan. He loved it. I met Karl Rove a few weeks ago, and Karl Rove came running up to me. He's like, Frank, the president's a huge fan of you. Would you, you gotta when you're in town, you gotta let us know. And he would come out and see you. And I was like, wow, that's great. So, I mean, I think everybody likes me except for the only guy who isn't sending me Christmas cards is John Madden that I know of.
Well, that's probably just because he's tired. He's tired and he's got to take more breaks.
I'm cranky.
Meet John Madden, former head coach of the Oakland Raiders, video game magnate, and top sports broadcaster. He would appear to have it all. But this spring, his world came crashing down when Green Bay Packer Brett Favre retired.
I promised I wouldn't get emotional.
Don't do it, Brett.
It's never easy.
Favre later returned to the NFL, but John knew it was time to move on. That's where we came in. John, this is the last football you'll be presenting.
Well, he's not Brett Favre, but Peyton Manning, will you catch this football? All right.
Tonight, we're down to the final three. Who will become the quarterback?
And now, Frank Caliendo fans, here's an excerpt from Frank's stand-up DVD, All Over the Place.
By the way, terrible is my new favorite word, not because of how I say it, because of how I hear Charles Barkley say it all the time. Because I say terrible, but when I hear Charles say it, it's,
I was terrible. That's a terrible, terrible thing. I was crazy. That's a terrible, crazy thing.
He always pretends to like somebody at the beginning and then rips them to shreds in the second part of it. Like talking about LeBron James, arguably one of the best basketball players of all time already.
I love LeBron, but he doesn't play in the defense. He's just terrible. T-R-B-L, terrible. Just like when I listen to my stereo, there's bass and terrible.
And he gets paid to talk about basketball. That's what Charles Barkley is paid to do. That's my favorite thing, because he will go off on tangents. It has nothing to do with the game. Like, Charles, what do you think of the game so far, the first half? What do you think about it?
I have no idea, but I tell you what. Kim Jong-il is crazy. That guy is nuts. He is going to blow up the world, and there's not going to be basketball anymore for all watching little pieces. That guy's a knucklehead.